Have you ever had a thought and you thought, man, this is a good idea? Or you thought, maybe somebody has the wrong idea and I have this idea. But they dismiss you on the grounds of it being absurd. That's an absurd notion. What an absurd notion. But then don't tell you how it's absurd or talk about anything that relates to what they're using as context for the absurd. Because, when you're born and you start growing and you start experiencing the world, seeing the world for the first time, it can be kind of absurd that some things happen. Lightning striking, the thunder ripping the sky. Seems absurd, kind of, that it's happening. But then once you get the explanation of blah, 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 the absurdity vanishes. And I think that's interesting. Isn't that absurd? That in one moment, something can be one thing, and then in another, totally different, totally normal. So we have absurd versus normal. And when I think about absurdity, I think about it in a lot of different contexts. One of those, absurdism, is a form of existentialism. Philosophers like Albert Camus posited that life is inherently without meaning, leading individuals to confront the absurdity of existence. And I think, yeah, we don't know what life is. We are looking for it all the time. We are sifting through the absurdity. ChatGPT says people might create or indulge in absurd situations as a way to distract themselves from existential worries or truths. Embracing absurdity can act as a defense against the despair of confronting inevitable truths such as mortality or the lack of inherent meaning. And isn't that true? That, you think you're living this meaningful life, man. You're looking at it like, I go to my job, I come home, I got my fine china, I've got my splendid decor, I have this wonderful little life. What a dream. But compared to someone else's dream, who, for whatever reason, does not have the same inclinations, interests, or hobbies, does not think of your life meaningful. They view it more as absurd. And most likely vice versa. You are in the state of why? Why wouldn't they find the meaning in my life. And then we enter into what is the topic of this video.